Who is your daddy? As for me, he is one man I am so thankful for. One who could split up the skies in half just so that I am made whole. One who could spit into hell's eyes, turn every lava into a North Pole just to save me from every dark hole. A man enough to man up every time the hour calls. My dad happens to be the one who stands tall each time times and seasons fall. A man not just of timber or caliber, but of glory, honor, and so much power. Revered through time, his word, his authority so absolute. His word so construed to convey every truth. On his bond he stands, looking out for me each time I go missing, turning every table right side up, stretching his hands towards me, protecting me, his one and only priority. I tell you, if someone calls you the apple of his eyes, then he loves you dearly. To me, he is perfect. To me, he is my head prefect. With a laid-down guide for me to live by, he gives me greases for my elbows. Even though I am always down and under, he still shows me the way to the top. To me, he says, don't be prideful or stubborn at heart. Be humble and submit to me always. In this, he calls me child. Little wonder, as the day and night passes by, the love I have for my dad never runs dry. See, the crazy thing about my dad is loving and kind. He provides for me everything I want. He doesn't take me out of his mind. Every knee bows to his greatness, and as much as he is a father figure, he is deadly and fearless. Loving, yet brutal. Liberal, yet strict. Like a master craftsman, I hope my words have created an image. I hope it has painted a picture about what a father's love encompasses. He owns me. He owns my heart. His essence I live and replicate. Like a lion, he protects his bride. Like a lion, he protects his pride. On his ordinance, I ride. So I dare to say, to a crooked generation, he is the answer. To the lost, he is the way. To the captives here on earth, he is the route of escape. I also dare to say that amidst the Father's love is his rod for correction, for a creation that malfunctions. He afforded you salvation as an extension for his affection to save you. You. His arms are wide open. His heart yearning to receive you. Don't let the world deceive you. As much as he loves me, he also loves you. Thank you. Okay, so the second one is titled Our World. So journey with me. Right now, I am pissed. Not because my bladder is so full, but because many are losing it and the world is gradually becoming a big fool. Our world has become a better place. A better place for bad people and a bad place for better people. A place where it is right to do wrong and it is wrong to do right. A place where immorality has become the center of attraction, and our children, us, being the leaders of today, are now diagnosed with internal filth that we are now forced to seek spiritual attention. Nowadays, the things that most things do to feel among really amazes me. I try so much not to be confused, but each time I ponder and I wonder, it really bothers me. A girl who is 11 wouldn't mind getting to a level of watching pornography with her friends just so that they don't call her mumu. A guy who is 18 wouldn't mind dating 18 lesser than his age just so that he will prove to his guys that he is man enough. A child who is finding it difficult to define what AB means now know what CD means. A child who is finding it difficult to define what matter is now has the space, now has the chance to know what the F word means. Nowadays, a girl who is 14 now has an ex. When I was 14, I was taught only to find the value of X. Mathematics student in the house. When I was 14, I didn't have an iPhone at all. Worst of all, I didn't even have a phone at all. I had no knowledge of Facebook because day in, day out, I was busy reading my book. When I was 14, I could read. I could recite Psalm 91. I wouldn't hesitate to draw my sword each time any opportunity comes. I wouldn't dare miss Sunday school classes or fellowship lessons. But it's such a shame. It's such a shame that what draws our attention are not just Bible, are no longer Bible verses or scriptures, but are paintings and postings of nude pictures all over social media. The eyes of their hearts now blinded by trends and threads and tricks that put them at risk. Blending with what is in vogue. Shamelessness being put out on display. And our children being the actors of display. If it's in a movie, I would say actors on display. I'm sorry to say this, like I said, if this happens to be a horror movie, then I'm sorry to say that our parents are the ones doing the directing. The pipers dictating the tune and the reggae behind these strange blues. Shout out to all our mommies and daddies who spare the rudder in the name of care and love, turning us into problems we cannot even solve. Shout out to all our mommies and daddies who allow us to reside in where sin presides, where immorality is termed soft and precise, where exposure of nakedness is termed smart and wise. Shout out to all our mommies and daddies who allow us watch harmful content, who allow us hear harmful content, all in the name of knowledge and entertainment. Shout out to all our mommies and daddies who allow us go to events or birthday parties dressed in crop tops, bomb shorts, and bikinis, who allow us listening to secular tracks that is aimed at taking us off God's track. Shout out to all our mommies and daddies who allow us to mingle intimately all in the name of getting along. I say this with no sentiment and no remorse. I say this with so much pain in my voice. We are at fault. Yes, we are. And until we do what is right, we may end up not seeing the light. So it's high time. It's high time we stop being careless and start being conscious. Conscious of the fact that the world is a battleground and not a safe haven. Conscious of the fact that we need to be protected and safeguarded from the madness out there. Conscious of the fact that we need to really step up our game if we really don't want to end up in shame. Time to stop being ignorant and start being vigilant. Time to stop sparing the rod and start saving the child. Me, you, each and every one of us. The time is now. What we do today will determine what the future holds. Time to act fast now.